All right, welcome world to another episode of Yatta Debates and a couple announcements as we are approaching 50 episodes. Yatta Debates season 2 is coming to a close. So I'm glad to have my latest and greatest guest, Chrissy Bees LLC on the show.
Thank you.
Before we get started, hold on, I just got I got
Choked up.
throat. I'm like choking, but before we get started, I just wanted to let everybody know that as far as Yatta Debates t-shirts, I do not have any more on hand. I actually sold out this weekend. So if anybody wants to go and get a Yatta Debates t-shirt, you have to go to our Teespring website, and I will have that link in the description below. Please, as always, if you enjoy this video, like it, leave a comment, and subscribe, and click the notification bell. Without further ado, guess for, I don't know what episode this is, 46 or 47, Chrissy and Chrissy Bees LLC. How are you doing today?
I am great. I am doing fantastic, actually. Thank you. How are you this evening?
I'm good. As good as anyone can be, during these times. I would say today was rather uneventful. This is like all I really had planned, for today.
Oh, okay.
Like with the weather and everything.
Right.
But getting into this, I had actually ended up finding you on the Black-owned New Jersey page, and one of the things that I was saying that during this time of all this racial tension and pandemic and all this craziness that's going on, things like the Black-owned New Jersey page have really spawned from this, and it basically has been like a phone book, like a catalog for a ton of Black businesses. And that's actually how I ended up finding El Burger Bar down in Camden, and of course finding your page on there as well.
Nice.
So I had been looking for guests to interview, and I was just like, well, I see she's doing Waste Beach. She just has her LLC official, and I was just like, let's get her on the show. Let's see what she.
That's dope. That's dope. I definitely appreciate you, bringing me on the show, giving me a platform to not only talk about my business, but express myself. That's phenomenal. Thank you so much for recognizing Chrissy Bees LLC. I just wanted to use the opportunity to thank you.
Of course, anytime. So, just give us a little background. What is Chrissy Bees LLC? Like, what is that? I know, but
You're right.
What is Chrissy Bees LLC?
Chrissy Bees LLC is handcrafted and customized jewelry solely designed by me. I probably would never I don't care if it gets to a certain point, I probably would never hire someone to create my designs, because everything is handcrafted and everything that I design is with the customer in mind. So I design waist beads, bracelets, anklets, chokers. I plan to expand and, add earrings in there, and I don't know, whatever God takes me to, that's where I plan to go.
I see you're rocking some of your own pieces right now too. Sean is
yes,
let's see.
I am. These are my chakra and charm bracelets. I like to use all natural gemstones in the items that I create, so you can count on that being real. I do have unisex versions for men, women, and children as well.
That's amazing. And it's just during this time, it's just we're seeing so many businesses spawn up from this time, so many people being successful at them, still finding new customers and new outlets and ways to basically express themselves and make a business out of it. And I always say you gotta find a positive in the negative, and this has definitely been one of the things, definitely reformatting. So give me a little bit about your background, because going into anything creative beads, art, jewelry, whatever, people tend to have some sort of background in these things, and what's your background in this?
It's so strange, because I never in my life in a million years expected that this would be the result of my background, so I was born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey, and I have a father, God bless his soul, R.I.P., Perry Kelly Hamilton. Years before he became a lawyer, he was a fashion designer, and he exposed my sister and I, while living in New York, to different designs, fashion, and things that he came up with. He designed my mother and his wedding, entire wedding. He designed her wedding gown, hand sewn beads all over her gown, and many other weddings, hats, all type of stuff. We sat there and watched our father hand sewn and do everything all on his own. And we used to take the scraps that he had and design our Barbie doll clothes and shoes and stuff with. So never in a million years would I say, oh, I will be a designer at the end of the day. Like, one day it hit me while designing my waist beads. Like, these are literally my designs. I'm not taking it from anyone else. And I'm literally like, oh my God, like, my dad would really be proud. I'm a designer, you know. I'm not only an owner, but I'm a designer, and these are all customized. And this stems from, you know, the exposure that my father gave me, being raised in New York City, Midtown Manhattan.
He was in the prime spot then, and
definitely.
and that's one thing that I was saying. You know, myself, I also grew up in, like, you know, an artistic and creative household. You know, my father's a, you know, singer, songwriter, poet, author, did plays. My mom directed and did, you know, she still does. I'm glad that she's getting back into it, but she does for, like, beaded necklaces and jewelry. So you know, being in that kind of household, you know, it rubs off on you, you know, ultimately.
It does.
You know,
it does.
Me, I have my own different creative outlets, like this, Yatta debates. And even with my brother, like, you know, he's real into, like, his graphic design. So it's just I can see it being this, like, real polarizing. It's like either it's like really going to heavily influence you, or it's really deter you. It's just
exactly.
So
I think for the most part, like, if you are, like, really, really exposed to it, like I said, I thought I would be like a Broadway performer, you know, being that, you know, we were going to Broadway shows. My father had us in performing arts school. That was more what I aspired to be. I never aspired to be a fashion designer or a jewelry designer or anything. That was my sister's goal. So to see how, you know, the dots connect, like, even down to, like, my locks. Like, a couple of years ago, I sewn the same beads that I'm using to create my jewelry. I sewn it in my hair. You know what I mean? Like, whoever knew that I would have a jewelry line a couple of years after sewing them into my hair based on the same beads that I use. So it's just funny how, like, the things that you are exposed to and your parents, like, that culture is really, really important when enforcing, you know, how a child is going to be raised. Like, you know, we're all going to do our own thing, but some things just never fade away. Like, that's who you are at the core.
Yeah, and, like, I think, like, for you, it's just like one day it just kind of, like, clicked. You know, it's just like,
it clicked.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, it literally clicked like that. That's literally how it was. I was sitting in the chair in the living room, literally minding my own business. I was like, oh, I'm gonna create my own beads, you know, like my own waist beads. And I heard, you know, like, I felt led by the Holy Spirit to create a business by it, you know, buy more, purchase more. And that's not even like me, you know. You know, I get a lot of backlash off of me as a person, you know, being that, you know, I have my YouTube channel. A lot of people didn't necessarily agree with a lot of the comments and thoughts that I made. I'm very opinionated. So, you know, I didn't have time to say, oh, what if they don't like it? What if they don't buy it? It was such a push to start this business. Like, I just took off with it, and I owe it to God.
So let me ask you this: what really, like, inspires, like, some of your designs? I think I saw when I was on your page, I saw one that was like red, black, and green. Like, what really inspires, like, you know, you would say, like, okay, I'm going to put these together, and it's just like it's going to work out. So
honestly, it's the customers. Like, literally, my quote is, "Everything I design is with you in mind." So I have this connection to them. I tell them, like, well, what do you want? Like, they tell me some colors, they throw some colors out, and I kind of, like, go off of their vibe. I go off of them. I go off of what they tell me, and that's what the result is. Like, you know, everything up until this point has been customized for all of my customers. It's them telling me a little bit about themselves and saying, oh, I want these colors, or just kind of like, I do everything, like, electronically. We never actually have, like, a verbal conversation unless I know them personally. But give and take, I'm really good at reading people and catching their vibes, and I kind of sense, like, who they are. And I just go with the flow of that. Like, okay, she seems like she's more into this and that. So I kind of go with that creativity, and it's really, really with the customer, each customer in mind, like literally. That's why I came up with it.
I mean, that's really amazing because it allows you to build like an intimate relationship like with
Yes,
customers, and you know, people are now getting like a one of a kind piece. You know what I mean?
exactly.
It's like you say, it's catered specifically to them and to their
Right.
interests, and you kind of and I'll even say this like in my own defense, like, you know, when I do need graphics done, I'll say honestly, I don't always know what the fuck I want. I just like, this is what I'm
Right.
thinking. So can you like make something happen with what I'm saying?
Right.
So and you know, it's important, like even like as you a designer, like to be able to take those pieces and create
Exactly.
like art out of it, because like sometimes it's
Exactly.
just like scattered thoughts and I'm just like, well, what the hell.
Right, exactly. That's literally how it goes. Like sometimes they're like, "Oh, I like all of these colors," you know, and I'm like, "Okay, all right, all right, I got you." Like, you know, and then they end up being thrilled with the final result. Like, and I just, and that energy alone is just like, you know, oh my God, I love it. I can't wait to get it. Or not even the finished product being made. You know, I'm just like, oh, I'll let you know when it's done. And they're just like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And I'm just like, you're
Mm.
excited for my designs? Really? Like, that's dope. That's dope
Hey,
energy. And I feed off of that. You know what I mean?
it kind of like inspires you to create more.
Yeah, yo, I'm telling you, I be going all out sometimes. I'll be like,
Now what about for you? Like I know you make pieces for you to wear and like showcase, like what when you decide that you want to make something that's like specifically for you, like where do you draw that inspiration from?
you want to know what's so crazy? I never made anything specifically for me.
No?
Anything that you see, like this stuff, like the waist beads in particular that I created, that I'm wearing right now, it's because something didn't go right while creating it for the customer. Maybe the size was off, or I didn't like the measurements was off where I placed the beads or the gemstones. Like, and I'm not just going to give them anything. So
Hmm.
I'll be like, oh, well, better for me. And I'll start all over again, you know,
Hmm.
but I wear my mistakes. So that's what these represents. These are the beads that didn't make it to the customer, and I had to start all over again. But I never actually take, because I'm telling you, if I take some time to create myself my own waist beads, oh, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. But these are just something that I created, you know, as part of the collection, and I wear them to showcase them. You know what I mean? And you know, kind of just grab it because I make enough to sell. So yeah, that's why I have these. But the waist beads, I never actually taken the time to like say, hey, I'm making these for myself, unless I'm making something to showcase
Uh-huh.
for a customer to buy. But other than that, I never taken the time to create something for myself.
Hey, well, I'll tell you one thing. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, I don't think it's going on. But you should really get in touch with the people that you know organize Trenton Fashion Week, and like, you know, really have your
I never even heard of that. What
um
is
I'll,
that?
I'll say that because I'm a part-time model. I'm a sometimey model.
Okay.
Don't take it too far. I only do it when I only do it when like a specific designer asks me. It's just like, you know, I need somebody with your bill. So by
Nice.
no means am I a professional.
Look, here you
Disclaimer,
go.
disclaimer. But I
By
mean,
no means am I a professional. I've been doing it for a couple of times, but
unless you want to book me and pay me, I'm completely
right, there
fine
you
with
go.
that. But on the average, no, it's not. But yeah, you should definitely get in touch with the people who do organize that, and you know, see about like showcasing your jewelry once this is all over. And
Yes,
I can.
definitely. I never even, I'm telling you, I like told myself from the beginning, like, I'm
Mhm.
going as far as this takes me. You know, I don't plan for it to be some grand gesture, but if that's where it takes me, then, you know, that's what it is. And each door, each opportunity, including yours, Yatta, like, I'm going with it, even though
Hey,
it's like nervous as hell.
well, like I said, after this, you know, we'll connect those pieces, and I'll like, you know,
Yeah,
have you.
definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, of course. So I know you say, you know, growing up, you thought you would be more into like Broadway. So do you do like any?
Yes.
Have you done like any acting in the past? Like,
Oh my God, yo, me and my sister, we used to play like how normal kids play. We would play movies and we would create our own movies. In the like, we are actors and actresses. You know what I mean? It's crazy because now I'm a mother of 4, and it's like the more I became a parent, the less I got, away from like who I am at the core. Acting, Broadway, I always wanted to be a Broadway performer. I always wanted to be an actress. Like that is something that I really like. I just loved it, as a child growing up, and we had a lot of exposure. Like I said, my father had us in a performing arts school called Tada, and like we would go there every Saturday on the weekends and go to that performing arts school. And some like people that we went to school with as kids are now like out there. I don't remember their names, but they were out there like older teens age, you know what I mean? So like it's definitely something that was embedded, and it's definitely something like I would love, like Tyler Perry. Come on now. Come on now, like Tyler. If he gives me the floor, I'm taking it. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, like that's something that I believe I am at the core, you know what I mean? That's something I would love to do, but the more I became a mother, you know what I mean? It's just
don't say
kind
it
of like back burner. Like, I forgot I had it in me. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I do a line like, oh, I still got it.
But I mean, that kind of brings me back to like, you having your YouTube channel and being able to have that outlet to like express yourself.
Exactly.
Once we had that like initial conversation, I did my own research on you, and I see that, you had like a YouTube channel extending back like a couple years, really detailing like, your locker journey.
Yes.
How'd you get started with that?
Oh my gosh. So when
that's
I
the dramatic
decided,
side.
right?
That's the dramatic side.
So already dramatic, right? It's the Aries in me. But once I decided that I was going to begin my lock journey, I started like everything about me is research. So I started to do my research, Google, YouTube, and it taught me a lot of how to care for my locks prior to going into my lock journey. So I kind of wanted to give that back. That's how it started. Like, oh, I'm going to follow along my lock journey and see, where my locks are now and where they're going to be, in the next 5 to 10 years. You feel me? And help people along the way as they go along in their lock journey by referencing my lock journey. But I went into it also like, maybe I can make some money off of it. Maybe I'm going to have a lot of views in it. I got videos from 2 years ago that still got 2 views. Okay. So it didn't go the way I planned it to go. And, I got a lot of negative feedback, to be honest, within that. But it didn't stop me from expressing myself. And I love the fact that, I can use my YouTube channel just to simply express myself, and whoever takes it and accepts it, that's what it's going to be. You know what I mean? I love talking about my breakup journey, my relationship journey. I'm celibate now. I love discussing that. My lock journey. Like I talk about a lot on my channel, and I always end up resorting back to the lock community, even though I feel like they don't deserve me. But I always resort back to them, because you never know who you're going to inspire, especially like with the locks, because I'm like super big on lock. I have a lot of lock love.
But I mean, everything that you do can always be incorporated back to, and this is something I said, either a podcast or a YouTube channel, you going on your lock journey, as well as you having, Chrissy Beads,
right.
It's just a way of finding a way to merge a platform. So you'll be doing like an episode, and like you said, you got your beads on now. So, and I mean, even just detailing some of your experiences with creating things for customers and certain things that they ask, because that's all interesting content.
But thank you. That is definitely something that I might add up in the future.
put it in the mix.
Thank you for that.
I'm doing the pre-production. I'm doing the
right, exactly. Listen, you know how we are, us YouTubers. We are already there. I see you.
And you know, even, you know, with everything going on, like I've really been using Yatta debates to, like, you know, highlight like a lot of things that, you know, that I want to do. Like I'm a big advocate for like saving and investing, so like I constantly like say that,
wow, that's
preach that
dope.
message on this channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really just amazing. It's just like, I think you should continue, you know, making those YouTube videos.
Thank you.
Yeah, biggest
I
thing.
will. Even if 5 people see it, that's my favorite line. Only 5 of you watching, but I got y'all 5.
Hey, I mean, not for nothing. That's what, you know, ideally everybody starts. You know, you start off at like
Yeah.
a few viewers, a few followers. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was the same way for when you started Chrissy B's LLC. You know, you had, you know, one
Yeah.
customer, and then one turned into 2, and 2 turned into
No,
10.
honestly, I was just like, the success that I gained from Chrissy Beads versus not really to compare, but versus what I got, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's my lane as far as YouTube concerned, because it's giving me an outlet, but this is my successor, you know what I mean? So like, I was able to differentiate, and I can still do both that I love, even though like, cause that was a Debbie Downer, like on its own, like the YouTube channel didn't do what I thought it would have done, you know what I mean? But for some reason, I'm so ambitious. I'm not a quitter. I'm tenacious. Like I just keep going. You close 10 doors in my face, and I'm like busting through that one. Like what? Like what? Like,
I mean,
so I don't care how many doors I get slammed. I'm just gonna keep going, keep trying. I'm super ambitious, like super. It's like it's over the top. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's definitely not going to stop anything for me. It may kind of put my spirits down from time to time, but I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, ideally, that's what you have to do. You kind of have to have that mindset, because it's just
Right.
like you know, if you give up too early, like you never really realize like how close you are. And I mean,
Exactly.
we all really go through those moments where it's just like, you know, I even like had the last episode with Von Leek. He was talking about like
That's a good episode. I'm sorry, that was a good episode between you young men. That was really good.
I appreciate it. How young do you think I am? Wait a minute.
I don't know. I felt like y'all both was in y'all 20s now. I'm 32. I felt like y'all both was in y'all 20s.
I'm only a couple of years behind you.
You only? So what, you 30?
29, but
okay, I was thinking maybe 26, 27, you know what I mean? Somewhere around those parts.
give me some credit, like.
Okay, your beard. Okay, finally came in.
You got jokes, I see.
Oh yeah, I have a son who's 14 and talking to Mom. You see it? No, I don't.
But yeah, you know, he talking about Leak, you know, he says, you know, we all kind of get that moment like, damn, when we're gonna have like our big break or whatever. But the biggest thing that I see is just like, you know, having like that level of consistency. Like
yeah, you're right.
Yatta debates now isn't where it was like a year ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
Through doing that consistency. And I mean, I even know you're saying like with the 5 viewers, but you trust me, you got like a catalog of views that got like 270 something views.
Right.
That's when you keep doing those things and you see what works, and you keep like branding yourself like that, like
right.
It's bound to be like successful.
It's bound to happen, you know.
And I mean,
I think some of my favorite like makeup guru is Jackie Ina, and she's been on YouTube for like, at this point, probably about 11, 12 years. And it took her about 10 years before she had her big break. You know what I mean? Like she's slowly risen, and she talks about that all the time. So even though I don't like do like focus on like makeup or whatever, that's her lane, but it was still very inspiring. You know, hearing stories like that is inspiring, because, you know, what they say, you save the best for last. Like the people that take off, they take off. You know, but those that don't quit, you know, despite adversity, those are the ones you need to watch out for. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely a part of that. I'm definitely part of the rejects. I'm definitely a part of all of that. And I'll wear that. I'll wear that hat proudly, because guess what? I'm going to be busting through all them doors that you slam and close in my face. I'm going to be busting through them all.
Hey, look, I'm telling you, keep that spirit, and you won't have any problems.
Period.
Yeah, and same thing for like for you know, your business. You know, keep that same attitude with Chrissy B's LLC, and I'm telling you, like, you won't find your own lane of success. But like speaking on, you know, having like haters, and you know, so many people with like differences of opinion, and we see it all the time, especially on the internet. You know, the
Yes.
internet is just like the floodgate for everyone's opinions. And have you seen the WAP video or heard this?
Oh my God. Yes, I have. And oh my God. Okay. Yes, I have seen it. I have seen it multiple times, actually.
So, you know, there's like a real, like, there's like a polarizing, like, you know, opinion about it. Some
Right.
people love it, they appreciate it. Let me not say it's polarizing. You got some people that love it and appreciate it for what it is. You got
Right.
people who absolutely hate it and detest it. And then you just got some people who just really don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah, so I'm that person that really don't give a F. You know what I mean? I have I'm like very liberal and conservative at the same time. Like I'm very non-traditional and traditional. I used to be a dancer back in the day, you know what I mean? So my views like may be much different, but I'm still somewhat traditional or conservative. So how I felt initially watching the video, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I happened to wake up. I seen it. Yeah, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. So it was going really, really low. I didn't want to wake the kids, and I was just like, the video was dope, but I couldn't hear it, and I was just like, it's a no for me. I watched it the next day, and I was like, I'm telling you, I watched it a few times today. I was just like, I mean,
a few times today.
well, I mean, if I was married and I mean, Cardi's verses, like I was feeling that, you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking of who I am as a person when I was sexually active. I'm not that no longer. I practice celibacy, but for me, what I want to have in my, you know, marriage, futuristically, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that. Instead of like somebody said, instead of there's some hoes in this house, there's some freaks in this house. Okay, so I do believe in the same token. I do believe from just what I see online, I don't feel like it's necessary to talk about your WAP. I just don't. I think that the women that really, really got some things going on, sitting back, sipping their wine, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like enough said, you know what I mean? And I feel like these women are entertainers, and this is how they make their money. But you can't do what they do. You feel me? Like, you cannot do it what Cardi does. Cardi, she does that ish very well. Like, she got that. She got that whole thing off. And Megan, that's who she was since she came out. So, they're talking about, oh, they're promoting prostitution and stuff like that. You know, I've never really been on that bandwagon, but when you really sit and think about all these men that take advantage of women, like, why not get something out of them? You know what I mean? Why not?
Wait a minute.
Feel a little bit, you know, hierarchy. Like, why not? Because you rather a woman degrade herself for nothing than degrade herself for something. Yeah. So that's just me personally. I mean, I degraded myself for the love of my life, you know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean? It's just all depends on who you are, what your morals and values are. Everyone doesn't have the same morals. Like somebody said, oh, her husband should be upset because his wife is out there. Like, how do you know that's not okay for their marriage? Every marriage is not the same. Some people want, you know, a monogamous relationship. Some people are swingers. Some people like to see their husband and wife once a year. Like, that's their business. What they do and how they do it is their business. Like, it may not work for you, but you got to respect it. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at in life. Like, yeah, I still may look at you like a hoe, but that's not my business. You know what I mean? And I'm going to respect it. You know what I mean? That's not my business. I say over here, that's not what I do. That's not how I choose to live. But if that's how you choose to flaunt and, you know, that's what you choose to represent, go for it. And I'm not going to lie. After watching the video back to back, just to really see, like, just to kind of gauge and see, like, what people are saying, like, if I can connect their thoughts, I'm sorry. I did feel some type of empowerment. But I did.
And I mean, I'll say this, like, ideally, like, from the people who, like, you know, disapproved in a sense, I kind of feel like this. Sometimes you can be too woke. Like, cause
thank you. That part, yes.
It's like, to the sense, right? Like, you know, Beyonce just, you know, did her, you know, Black is King. Yes. And we had that moment of you know, like, empowering ourselves as people in a positive sense. And she really, like, used her outlet in that way, right? Right. And people still had an issue with it, right? Like, there was, like, a mass uproar about, like, oh, she should have did this and she should have did that. Like, I'm just like, but then you got to the point where WAP came out, and, you know, it was like the polar opposite, you know.
Exactly.
It was uplifting in a different way.
Yeah. And both parts are within me. Okay. I am all of that and above. Okay. So I can connect to both the Black is King and that WAP. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'm more reserved. I won't express it as, you know what I mean? Because now I'm older, you know what I mean? They are younger. I'm older. I got multiple kids, you know, so I won't express it that way. Yeah. But unless it's in the bedroom with my husband in the future. But outside of that, yeah, I totally agree. Like, they didn't love it when Beyonce was giving us, you know, uplifting men, Black men and women. Okay. And listen, I sip to that every night. That is my album. Okay, but here is WAP is King. Just, I'm telling you, I honest to God felt liberated after hearing with that. I was just like, why do I feel so empowered? Like, why am I connecting?
That's gonna be a clip.
I felt like I was right there, like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt it. Either way, I felt it. And that's why I say, like, my personal opinions are kind of like traditional and non-traditional. Yeah. I'm super like in the middle. A lot of things people don't agree with, I agree with. A lot of people think, you know, do agree with, I don't. Like, I'm very like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And honest to God, like, I think they did their thing. The video was beautiful. Like, it was great. Like, it was a dope video. And Cardi's part, especially, Megan said she said some hitters, but Cardi part especially, I was
you said, I felt that in my soul.
I felt it in my soul. I was like, good. I was sitting there like, woo, yes, I felt that. So I can understand, because like, especially if that song come on in the club, what you think finna happen? Somebody cutting up on that dance floor, okay? Like,
the Corona Club.
Everybody's popping in, like, what? Yes. I mean, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, like, men that's in the music industry, they've been slaughtering, okay? Slaughtering females left and right, calling us all kinds of hoes, this, that, and the third. Yo, put this in your, like, they've been saying all kinds of stuff. I swear, this is the most, like, uniquely clatchet way that I ever heard it. And I'm with it, because I'm not even into rap or any of that. And I like a good bop, you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate good music, and this was good for me. And I'm like one of those conservative, stuck up, but not really super clatchet type of chicks. So I can bop to it and I can relate to it, you know what I mean? And I hope to, you know, perform to it to my husband on our wedding night.
and you know, I mean, really, I really say that to say this, you know, it doesn't seem like, you know, regardless of what lane or outlet you take, and this is you know, this is like me coming back full circle to you, just saying, like, somebody always gonna have some negative shit to say about it, regardless, whether it's blackity black, positive message, peace, love, brother, or it's WAP, you know what I mean? Like,
period,
right? Have something negative to say about it. So, you know, regardless, like, you know, do what you do.
Do you, and be the best version of you. That's it, and that's all. That's what kept me going with my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sometimes it, like, you know, I'm defensive, I'm aggressive, I'm a fighter, I'm all of that. So like, when I get certain comments, I'm like, yo, I fire back. And believe me, I'm gonna fire back. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna stop what I got going on, because I'm gonna always do me, period. You know what I mean? And that's Cardi and Megan's, like, that's their mentality. Like, y'all, you think they care about what y'all got to say? First of all, they are making millions off of this daggone song. They don't care. And then my other point is, for the men that literally are like, they feel so disgusted by it. Like, why does it bother you so much?
I didn't get that. I didn't get
I was like, you're literally making a status about it? Now, I get it. Some chicks taking it overboard. They acting like, you know, it represents them. Like, pipe down now. Pipe down, because Tom, Dick, and Harry had a different opinion. Okay, it's not a WAP. But, you know what I mean? I feel that, you know, for the men that was strongly like, oh, they promote, like, those are the chicks that you cheated on your stay-at-home wife with, okay? Those WAPs, okay? Them hoes in the house. Those are the chicks that you literally slept on, fucked on, all that type of ish. Those are the chicks that you really go out and get. So why is it a problem that they taking you by the balls?
Yikes.
Niggas don't like that. They don't like women in any kind of power. You know what I mean? That's just the bottom line. You know what I mean? And you know, Black women in power. Slow down now. Slow down. We got a lot of it. Okay. And they just utilize theirs in a much different way. And I literally don't have anything negative to say about them, you know?
So yeah, with that being said, it just seems like, you know, regardless of which road you take, it's just like people are just going to like, you're going to have people that approve and then people that disapprove. And it's just, it just comes with the territory. And like, you know, you doing what you do with your YouTube channel and with Chrissy Beads LLC, make sure y'all go check that out. You know, just stick through it. Seriously, you know?
Exactly. So once again, I just want to thank you so much for giving me another platform to express myself and broaden my horizons, step out of my comfort zone, and, you know, getting an opportunity for me, giving me an opportunity for me to express my business line as well as my channel. And, you know, I love the opportunity because it got me to know you and your channel. So it's pretty dope. First podcast ever. And I love it. Thank you.
Hey, of course. So as always, please tell people where they can find you on social media and all of that, you know?
Okay, so I have a few different avenues. For starters, you can find me on Be Chrissy on Facebook, or Chrissy Beads on Facebook. That's my business page. On IG, I am Chrissy_Beads, and I have a website that will be soon launching. I am under construction, but actively working on it myself. And that's www.chrissybeadsllc.com. And yeah, those are my avenues right now.
Of course, and as always, I will have all your links in the description and below. So please, if you did enjoy this episode with Be Chrissy, make sure that you like, subscribe, and click that notification bell, because I'm telling you, we only got a couple more episodes, and I will talk to you about, you know, Trenton Fashion Week and all of that. You know,
thank you. I definitely appreciate that.
So yeah, you know, you got to start showcasing them things, you know. So.
Yes, Chrissy Beads LLC. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching, everyone.
Of course, as always, until next time on Yatta Debates.